You're watching Poindexter Lounge. You already know. You're watching Poindexter Lounge for the unity.
Larry Bird!
What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, and it is good to have you in the lounge today. And I just want to make sure that you all adjust your sound levels accordingly, because today we might say a few things to the people in the back that they need to hear. Because, you know, sometimes the people, they come in and they set up in the back because they don't want to be seen and they want to hug the wall. You know, they want to hug that wall. They don't want to come in and be amongst everybody else. They want to hug that wall and be there and just, you know, chime in when it's convenient for them. So today, you're going to hear me speak on this topic. Oh, this topic, and what a topic it is today. So I just want to prepare you all for what we're about to talk about. But hey, if this is your first time to the lounge, you picked a really interesting time to come in. But welcome. We're glad to have you. And we invite you to please hit that subscribe button, because around here, we stand for what we believe is right and for what we believe is true. And we stand, for sure, we stand with Ray Fisher. So if you don't, look, everybody has their own choices to make. We're not going to tell you what you have to believe, what you have to think, anything like that. All right. I would never do that. I'm not telling you what to think. But I will tell you this. If you think that we're going to be swayed because you're going to somehow tell us something we haven't heard before, and you think that we care about all that, let me just spell it out for you right off the top of this show. We don't. We simply don't. Anyways, welcome to the show today. A little bit different, given the fact that we are on it in the afternoon. But I just want to say how good it is to be with you all today. I absolutely love our community here, and I love each and every one of you. And yes, I am happy to be a part of this community. And look, we believe in standing for what's right. All right. And so I want to say thank you to all of my moderators who are in the chat today. Thank you guys for keeping an eye out on stuff. Look, we're not going to we're not going to go back and forth with people. If you want to stay and you want to listen and you want to be respectful, you're welcome. All right. If you want to make a scene and be disrespectful, we ain't playing that today. All right. So yeah, you know what? I don't have time. I don't have time to address things right now for there, because we're going to talk about this stuff straight up. And I'm hoping that another one of my good friends is able to join, because she said that she was going to try. And so I'm hoping that she's able to come in here, because I think that it's relevant to everything. And so I just want to say, first of all, right off the top, like I said, we stand with Ray Fisher. I believe Ray Fisher. You're not going to change that coming in here today. All right. You're not going to change that by what you say to me or what you do, because I've already been down this route. I've been down enough of it. I've talked to enough people. I've talked to the sources, and You don't know what you don't know. All right. So there you go. Hey, check it out. Benson's with a £5 super chat says, Enosh, great to have you on. Whilst I'm awake. Yes. Over there in the UK says, your figure is arriving very soon. Thank you so much. Pignor and the Salad Dodger will be tearing Ray apart tonight. I'm sure they will try. But you know what? Ain't gonna work. Roger Pena with a $49.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. Oh my gosh, blowing it up, you guys. First thing here on the chat, you guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much. Says, let's get this stream started. Hashtag I stand with Ray Fisher. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Hashtag pure Michigan. I love that. And so I think that we'll get started with something for you and a little something for our friend Firewater.
Hey man, you got any more bonuses?
Hey man, I got the cheeseburger man.
Oh,
Jim
man.
Brewer.
Hey, we're all out of bonuses, Brian.
What?
We're all out of bonuses. No more bonuses for WB.
I'll see you guys later. Have a good day, guys.
No more bonuses for any WB executives. No more bonuses for gifted comic book writers, yet kind of scummy people.
Well, you know, if the shoe fits, right?
Just saying, as Firewater says, yeah, get that bonus. It's time to get that bonus, and I'm ready to get that bonus. How about you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm excited because First Contact Day rocked yesterday. We got to see 2 new trailers for Star Trek shows. I'm excited for that. So I just got up this morning to see this, and I was like, I did the proverbial Picard face palm, just like.
And here she is. Here's what I was waiting for. Miss Saggy Melons. What's up, Saggy Melons?
Hey, I was over on with Truth for a minute.
Oh,
and
yes.
I was like, let me get on with Enosh so that we have somebody of color here, so y'all don't feel awkward, and I don't have to have people in the chat getting all wondering why there's 2 Caucasian men talking about the issues that we're gonna talk about right now.
Oh yes.
Absolutely. All right. No more bonuses, Saggy. No more bonuses for WB people. We're done.
Wait, did Firewater cancel us?
No. Firewater's fine. That's the thing. We're not giving out any more Firewater's bonuses to WB. Only bonuses for good people now who don't try to judge people based on the color of their skin.
So I still get a bonus.
You still get a bonus.
Oh, thank
absolutely.
God.
Just no bonuses for these guys.
I don't have enough yachts. Get me a bonus.
No bonuses for them.
I love Firewater. I miss Firewater. I'm gonna need you to call your job and tell them you're taking a week off so you could be on these streams more often, because we miss the heck out of you.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So we're gonna jump right in because it is time. All right, and I want to get right to this, and we're gonna nail this one right off the bat. First of all, let's take a look at. That's not the one I want to bring up yet. Okay, so I want to bring up first of all the article. Have you all read the article?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
right, let's talk about this bombshell of an article that came out today in the Hollywood Reporter. Talk about laying it all out there. This man right here, which is that? Look at that picture.
Right.
Look at that picture.
That is smoldering.
My God, Ray.
Oh my gosh, that's dang. He's a good-looking man.
He really is. He really is, though. Like, geez, Lord have mercy. Woo.
Good Lord.
Okay.
There's your bonus right there. That's
my bonus.
There's your bonus right there. All right. So today, if you've been under a rock, or maybe you just weren't aware of what was going on, maybe you've been working today and just weren't aware of what was going on in the pop culture Twitter sphere. Today, Hollywood Reporter dropped this amazing article to which Ray Fisher dropped all this news today about things that happened. And we're going to take a minute and we're going to go through some of this and talk about, because Ray Fisher opens up about Justice League, Joss Whedon, and Warner's. I don't believe some of these people are fit for leadership. Amen.
Well, we've been saying this for about 6 months now. That
Right.
You think?
Thanks to everybody who's finally coming on board. I appreciate it.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Welcome to the party. Don't worry, we're not all out of hot dogs and ribs yet. You can still get some, and we got some more fixings. We may be out of macaroni salad, though. Just saying.
Dude, no bonuses, no macaroni salad. What are we doing here?
I know, I'm leaving. This is ridiculous.
Well, you were all here for all the good stuff. You were here for the good stuff. People coming in late. What can I say? It says, over the past year, the actor has assailed the filmmaker and studio in harsh but cryptic tweets for what he says was racist and inappropriate conduct. I'm not so indebted to Hollywood that I haven't been willing to put myself out there. Thank God for somebody who doesn't have to kiss Hollywood's butt.
Somebody not bought by the machine. Okay.
Oh yeah. We're gonna share a tweet in just a little while from somebody who doesn't understand that just because you have a wealth of knowledge about DC characters and that you're a good comic book writer doesn't mean you're a good person.
What?
I know.
I thought they went hand in hand. Like the virtue signaling in the comic book would kind of shield yourself from the negativity.
I have so much to dissect of this article. It's not even funny.
Yes. DC knowledge, don't you know? DC knowledge equals no racism.
That and having a black wife.
Yes. Yep. That's it right there. Okay. Ray Fisher is ready to talk. Ever since June 2020, when he fired off a tweet accusing Joss Whedon of gross, abusive, unprofessional, and completely unacceptable conduct on the set of Justice League, the 33-year-old actor has used social media and a series of interviews to lob serious allegations of racist behavior and cover up at Warner Brothers. Yes, he has, and it has been glorious. For Fisher, who plays Cyborg in the film, the issue is no longer so much what happened on the set in 2017 after director Zack Snyder was replaced by Joss Whedon, though he's ready to explain that too. His unrelenting focus in recent months has been the way executives, first at the Warner Film Studio and then at its parent Warner Media, handled allegations raised by himself and others. Warner Media has previously said that remedial action was taken as a result of its investigation, but it's not elaborated. A spokesperson tells The Hollywood Reporter that for privacy and legal reasons, our policy is not to publicly disclose the findings or the results of an investigation. Catherine Forrest, a former federal judge who conducted the Warner Media probe, tells The Hollywood Reporter in a statement that in interviews with more than 80 witnesses, she found no credible support for claims of racial animus or racial insensitivity.
Who does she work for again? I'm confused. Was she brought in by the studio?
Yeah.
Or okay, that makes sense then. Never mind. Nothing to see here, people. Moving on.
Yes. Nothing to see here, guys. There no racial nothing. 80 people came forward. 80 people can't be right. Not one of them can have anything. No. A Warner Media spokesperson notes that the company made extraordinary effort to accommodate Mr. Fisher's concerns about the investigation and to ensure its fullness and fairness, and has complete confidence in the investigation process and Forrest's conclusions. Imagine that. You're saying we were racist. We fully believe we weren't.
Okay.
Oh, don't you believe us? You believe us, don't you? Come on, Brian. You believe us, don't you? I mean, look, Saggy is a person of color. She might not believe, but come on, man. You're white. You're supposed to be on board with Jeff Johns and all them because we're white, right? We're just supposed to go along with it, right? No. Oh,
sorry, man.
Right.
I don't roll that way.
I will say, because I read this and I will say, because I don't want to jump too far because there's a lot to go over, but I will say that my opinion from everything I've seen and read and heard, I'm not going to go far to call the what was said and done as is just flat out racism. It is very high key ignorance. It is. And I understand from both sides, but they still have to acknowledge that what they were trying to do came off more as racial discrimination than it did what they were trying to do, which was the opposite. They were trying to say, well, we were trying to not make it seem like we were doing racial stereotypes and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, they missed. They screwed it up. They screwed it up completely. And I won't, like I said, I don't want to too far ahead.
Well, I'll tell you what pushed me over the edge is when we get to the stuff about the Krypton show, because we're going to talk about that Krypton show. Yeah. Okay. Fisher was raised by a single mother and his grandmother in Lawnside, New Jersey, a community that he notes was the first self-governing Black municipality north of the Mason-Dixon line. He says he felt a new sense of urgency to speak out when the pandemic hit and the Black Lives Matter protesters took to the streets. To Fisher, who had few screen credits, playing the half-man, half-machine Cyborg, the first Black superhero in the DC film universe, was both a huge career break and a major responsibility. Justice League was released in 2017, the year before Marvel broke ground with Black Panther. He was mindful that the film was overseen almost entirely by white executives and filmmakers. While Fisher has dropped details and named names, outsiders have struggled to understand. How did Whedon incur his anger? Did Fisher really decline to participate in an investigation that was launched in response to his own complaints, as Warner's claimed in September? Was Fisher fighting a righteous battle or a quixotic one where when he set out on a path that appears to have cost him a place in the DC film universe? Now, in many hours of conversation, Fisher tells his side. Much of his previous reluctance to spell out the story, he says, arose because he didn't and still doesn't want to expose the identities of others who shared their stories with him and investigators. I'm not looking to have any witnesses lose their jobs, he says. Again, Brian.
God, I mean, it just sounds to me like it's a conspiracy theory so that, Zack Snyder can regain control of the DCEU, man. It just...
You're probably right.
It screams conspiracy, guys. Come on.
You're probably right, Brian. Azur here with a $5 super chat says, how can you watch Cyborg in Zack Snyder's Justice League and think, oh, that's just an angry black man? Saggy is right. They came off as more ignorant. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, that also went to what I said on when I was with Truth, that specific that statement of, we didn't want an angry black man. Now, I didn't understand until I read that article and got the full context now, because I thought they were talking about Ray Fisher being the angry black man. They were talking about Cyborg. Yep. So now my thing was, and this is why I said, it was ignorant, because they could have. The thing that they're missing is when you see that whole chapter about Cyborg, you see why he is angry, right? So It's not just because he's an angry black man. He was just an angry man because he had a right to be angry. And the reason why they said that ignorant comment was because they're not understanding. You have to tell us why he's angry. We didn't see that in the first Justice League, the Joss Whedon one. We didn't see why he was angry. We just assumed whatever we assumed because we didn't have the whole story. We didn't get to see that emotion, what drove him to become an angry person. So yes, that comment was ignorant because of that.
Yep. Well,
so removing his backstory was bad.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And like I've been saying for months, for all the people who are like, why is he just complaining because his role was cut short? And why is he just complaining because he didn't get his way on the set? That was never the point. That was never the point. And he has spelled it out pretty clearly over the last few months. And now he's having to shout it for the people in the back yet once again, that this was because he was not looking to have any witnesses lose their jobs. He was speaking up for the little man. He was speaking up for the people who didn't have blue check marks and couldn't just walk away unscathed if they stood up to this stuff. That is who Ray Fisher's been standing up for. And I'm sorry that you don't get that. Okay. And if you're in a position where you don't care about that, I don't know what to tell you. But we read on. Those include some who wouldn't seem to have any worries about job security. Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa. Others who were not involved with Justice League also spoke to Fisher, and in some cases, the investigators with experiences with Whedon and with Jeff Johns, who was co-chairman of DC Films and a producer on the film. They include Charisma Carpenter, who recently wrote on social media of Whedon's alleged abusiveness on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and individuals who had worked with Johns on Sci-Fi's Krypton. Oh, we're going to get to that. Oh, I can't wait. Fisher got Warner's to start an investigation more than 2 years after the first version of the film was released, but he soon found the process to be suspicious. The studio and its parent company seemed to be focused on protecting top executives, he says. The process moved in starts and stops, and when he felt forced to ramp up his public protest, the studio responded with what Fisher calls a deliberate smear. Warner's maintains it has done everything necessary to address Fisher's concerns, but he still wants an apology. And here it's got the tweet here from Ray Fisher. Says Joss Whedon's on-set treatment of the cast and crew of Justice League was gross, abusive, unprofessional, and completely unacceptable. He was enabled in many ways by Jeff Johns and John Berg. Accountability is greater than entertainment. In May of 2017, Fisher was walking into a movie in New York when he got a call from Zack Snyder that left him stunned. Snyder was leaving Justice League, citing his daughter's suicide. Sources say Snyder was under enormous pressure at the time. The studio was unhappy with the reception and box office performance of his previous film, The Bleak Batman v Superman. Okay. With Justice League footage already shot. Now, insisted on a lighter touch. They wanted a lighter touch, guys. They wanted something lighter fare, something colorful, maybe some shawarma, like thrown in there, for lunch purposes, of course. Warner's also asked Snyder to produce a 2-hour cut that he had a wrenching time delivering, though eventually did. Ultimately, Snyder left, and Whedon, who had written and directed Marvel's The Avengers and had already been brought in to help brighten Justice League's tones, took the helm. Oh, and what a glorious day that was, wasn't it? Aren't we all glad for what we ended up getting in 2017 with Joss Whedon's Justice League? I mean, everybody is so happy with it. I know.
It was a cinematic masterpiece.
Oh my gosh, I am so just overwhelmed with love and admiration for that movie, and it's also good to see like how well it did at the box office.
Well, yeah, that, and I want to thank Danny Elfman for saying that there's only one Batman song.
Yes. Yes, there can be only one. But I mean, look, and not just Snyder fans, but like people across the board just absolutely loved Justice League for sure. The Justice League that Fisher had signed up for was a far cry from the film that Whedon ended up finishing. Oh, and we know that for sure now, don't we? Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Snyder had Fisher talk at length with screenwriter Chris Terrio before there was even a script. He talked about that here, about how he met with Chris Terrio. Zach and I always considered Cyborg's story to be the heart of the movie, Terrio tells The Hollywood Reporter. You know what I love about this article? The Hollywood Reporter cites everybody that they talk to. This was not something that they just we're just going to talk to Ray Fisher and get Ray Fisher's ideas. As we're reading this, as you read this at home or wherever you are, notice how it literally names everybody and how they talk to the Hollywood Reporter. So they talked to Chris Terrio, and Chris Terrio let them know Zach and I always considered Cyborg's story to be the heart of the movie. He has the most pronounced character arc of any of the heroes, beginning from a place of despair and ending with a feeling that he is whole and that he is loved. And Terrio says he and Snyder took the portrayal of the first black superhero in the DC film universe very seriously, adding, with a white writer and white director, we both thought having the perspective of an actor of color was really important.
What?
Wow.
You can't just dictate how black people think?
No, I guess not. I guess you can try, but it fails miserably. And Ray is really good with story and character, so he became a partner in creating Victor. Oh, you mean what Ray Fisher has been saying this whole time? Oh, Chris Terrio verifies it, referring to the character's given name. When new filming proceeded under Whedon, says Fisher, he came to feel that he had to explain some of the most basic points of what would be offensive to the black community.
So wait, let me get this straight. So the whole point of this is that Ray had creative, basically he was part of the creating of the Cyborg character and Victor Stone, and he and Zach sat down and talked about it together. And then when he found out that Joss was basically saying, nope, we're gonna go in a different direction, which is so I can see a little bit more why Ray was upset, because he actually was part in creating the character he was playing and was told, no, we can't do that anymore. I'd be a little upset too.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? It's amazing that it makes sense when you actually see it in writing there. Sean C. with a $5 super chat, thank you, sir, says it should be noted that the writer of this article, Kim Masters, tweeted, "Warners did not want me to write this story, to put it very mildly."
Of course not. It's just why they don't want to. It's the same reason why they don't want to release the numbers for the Snyder Cut.
Well, you know what the problem is they're too busy shotgunning bonuses over there. Gotta shotgun this bonus over here. Come on.
Something over there. Jesus, man.
They're doing something.
8 balls, I'm not sure, but lots of drugs.
Drugs!
It's on that That's actual footage from a board meeting at
with Jeff Johns
at Warner Media.
Oh wait, but you forgot. Ray's just complaining. He has no rights to be upset that they took away something he helped create. But what do I know? I'm just
well, nobody. and I mean, like it's Ray's fault that he felt like he had to explain some basic points of what would be offensive to black people to a bunch of white people.
Yeah, what does Ray Fisher know about black people problems? How dare he?
He's only black.
How dare, right?
Only black.
How dare he? How dare he know about black people problems? How dare he? How dare you say it, Ray Fisher? I'm judging.
Well, yeah. After Fisher's reps were told that Whedon planned to make major revisions to the film, he flew from New Jersey to meet with the filmmaker in L.A. When the two met at a bar, Fisher says Whedon was tiptoeing around the fact that everything was changing. As he left the meeting, Fisher was handed the revised script, which he read twice on the plane back. Gone was Cyborg's traumatic backstory, his relationship with his mother, whose loving scenes with her son were eliminated, as was the accident that killed her and led to his transformation. Imagine a Batman origin story where, did his parents die? Like, maybe? He's just angry. True. He's just angry. Batman's just angry. Imagine a Superman origin story where it's like, this kid just shows up.
Well, you know what's funny?
Where's he from? Don't know.
Now that you see that, now that you say that, and now it hits me, because I thought that they didn't. I thought the reason why they didn't actually show the whole thing was because they were like, well, most people who know Cyborg kind of know how he got there. So maybe I didn't think of that, but yeah, that makes. Why didn't they show the origin story? Really, they didn't show it with the Flash either. But again, Flash, I figured, like I said, they knew that we do these characters. Maybe they saved time, but that makes more sense now that I'm thinking about it. Like, yeah, they really did cut out an origin story completely.
Yep. And, and then, of course, it says here, the material was later restored in the Snyder Cut. Oh, and victoriously restored in the Snyder Cut version of the film that's streamed on HBO Max. You know what's something else that's really interesting about this article? The more you read it, the more you realize, just why Warner Brothers doesn't want to release any more Snyder verse stories. Mm-hmm. Because they literally just hated everything to do with it. They've tried to brush it all under the rug. They've tried to act like, their movie, their Justice League movie is canon. Look, you know what? Listen to me. Look, I've said it from the beginning. I will watch DC movies because I'm a DC fan. But DC, your freaking Justice League will never, let me repeat, never be the canon of your universe. Your Justice League movie sucks. Your Justice League movie is a joke with too many bad jokes in it. Yeah. Your director was a joke and horribly offensive. And your creative consultants on this movie were also at least, if not racist, very offensive in the way they handled every single bit of this movie. That movie is garbage. Absolute garbage.
Hot garbage.
Poop.
Yeah. Try to tell me that's canon. You can take your cannon, shove it where the sun don't shine, and light it because it's going to fire a cannonball right up where you don't want one.
Well, it makes me miss the days of the Canon Studios that had the rights to Superman for a little bit there. Maybe they should take it back. Just saying.
Superman 4 was better than that crap.
Yeah.
What?
Right? Thank you. Jeez.
Okay.
All right. It represents that his parents are two genius level black people. Because we see that all the time. I mean, we don't need to see that. Right? We see that every day.
It's not good representation, guys.
Yeah, that's like in every movie, right? Genius level black people, they're portrayed that way, right? I mean,
I've seen a few, a fair amount of superhero stuff where the black people were family with geniuses. The Runaways. Actually, no, I can't say the Runaways because the black character, the dad was like a former gangster. Never mind, I take that back.
Oh,
not only that, but
sounds genius level to me.
To think that the ball that they dropped on this
sounds stereotypical to me. No.
Well, like, does anybody remember the buzz that surrounded Black Panther?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, they skirted that because they had a black superhero first.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't understand that. Why would you take that away?
Well, Fisher says we don't see that every day. I'll take his word for it. Whedon sent out an email asking for questions, comments, or fulsome praise. But Fisher says it became clear all he was looking for was the fulsome praise, trying to strike a jocular tone. Fisher responded that he mourned the loss of the cyborg material, but was moving on. He said he had notes to avoid issues in terms of representation of the character. But in a call with Whedon, Fisher says he had barely started to talk when the filmmaker cut him off. It feels like I'm taking notes right now, and I don't like taking notes from anybody. Not even Robert Downey Jr., he said.
What a dick. Sorry.
I'm gonna censor myself here.
Yes.
Sorry, if you could see what my mouth was saying, that's kind of.
He said vacuum.
Vacuum. You.
Other sources on the project say Whedon was similarly, I can talk, dismissive of Gadot and Momoa when they questioned new lines. Whedon declined to comment for this piece.
Of course not.
Yeah. But I believe Joss Whedon. Joss hasn't said anything yet, but I believe him.
Joss invited me to a red carpet, so I'm gonna back everything he said and done, including disparaging Patty Jenkins, dude.
Oh yes, we're about to get there. I'm wondering how that's going to be spun by some people.
It's just their credibility is so shot right now. It's like, I'm sorry for the bots out there that eat it up. But
thank you, Rhea. Rhea, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. She says we don't necessarily have to take Ray's word for the fact that representation and equality are non-existent in story writing for black characters. We have seen it for the past 100 years. Absolutely.
Love Rhea.
I know. It's sad to me. Like, man, it's just sad to me that this kind of crap exists. So Whedon declined to comment, of course. Fisher turns to Johns, who he says had presented himself as a kind of mediator. But Fisher says his ultimate response was, we can't make Joss mad.
Oh, we don't want to piss the Buffy guy off. I mean,
oh yeah, we don't want to have him throw a man tantrum on set.
God forbid.
No one understood Age of Ultron.
I don't take notes from anyone, not even Robert Downey Jr. You won't give me notes, Ray Fisher. I know what I'm doing. I made Marvel lots of money. Lots of money, Ray Fisher. You don't know how to do movies. You just do the acting, Ray Fisher. Don't call me, okay? You no more scenes for you. No more angry black man scenes. No, we're cutting it out. No. Okay, I'm done.
That's right. Quasimodo, mother.
Whoa, hey now. Hey.
Sorry,
okay.
I did read the article.
It's all in the article, right? Okay. We can't make Joss mad. We don't want an angry white man. Come on. We don't want an angry white man. We can't have that.
Don't see enough of that on a daily basis.
I know. Publicist Howard Bragman, who represents Johns, denies that, but says Johns recalls suggesting that any creative pitches should happen when Joss Whedon was not preoccupied, so that he'd be more receptive.
When he wasn't on his man. No, it's when he wasn't on his man period. Okay.
Don't piss Daddy off, guys. He'll cut you out of the movie.
Don't piss Daddy off, guys. You go home to bed with no dinner.
No. Don't you understand? That's not what I said. I said that we should just, be careful of how we address it, and just don't bring it up when he's preoccupied, guys. Come on.
That's a lot of words to say. Don't piss off Joss Whedon.
Okay, Benson's Mark, we're the £2 super chat. Thank you, man. Says Enosh is Joss Whedon's Justice League canon. Well, you know what? It depends upon how you look at that. Because if you're asking me, no.
Yeah, I was gonna say it just kind of depends on who you ask.
Yeah, no. Joss Whedon's Justice League. Let's see. Let me see. Would I want that to be canon? Well, let's see what it might be.
Wait, what the hell? Oh, that's better. I thought I had shit on my screen for a sec.
Yeah,
you could be fired out of a cannon.
Yeah, it could be fired out of a cannon. We'll take that. See how far it flies. How about that?
Yes.
Well, we see how far it flies. Yes, absolutely. The Goose Man. Yep. He's not a POC. He's a POS. There you go. I like it. All right. Yeah. So don't make the white man angry. Don't bother the white man when the white man is preoccupied, because that way he'll be more receptive. Once Whedon got involved, Fisher says that Johns told him that it was problematic that Cyborg smiled only twice in the movie. Fisher says he later learned from a witness who participated in the investigation that Johns and other top executives, including then DC Films co-chairman John Berg and Warner Studio chief Toby Emmerich, had discussions in which they said that they could not have an angry black man at the center of the film. John's rep responds that once the chairman of the studio mandated a brighter tone for the film, all further discussions centered on adding joy and hopefulness to all 6 superheroes.
Full stop.
Okay.
He only smiled twice in the movie, guys. Come on.
Oh, well, dang. Well, tell the angry black man, or tell the angry white man, that we can't have an angry black man.
Well, don't get me wrong. Ray Fisher has a beautiful smile, and I would love to just see him use that smile multiple times in the movie. But it wasn't about the smile, so I get it. But don't get me wrong, I was happy he smiled because he got a gorgeous smile. I'm just saying. But this is my issue with this right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I understand to a degree, and this is why I said I understand on both sides. You have Hollywood, who does very hard to try not to anger people when it comes to having people of color in media. Yeah, okay, I get it. But the way they go about it, it's like the more you focus on, is this going to offend people, or are we doing something? We got to make sure that the people don't come at us on social media. Is the more, when you think about it, is when you're going to start offending us the most, is because you're focused on trying so hard not to offend, to a degree. How hard was it to just be like, show his story? Why is he an angry man? Why was he angry? If you showed us why he was angry, no one could sit there and be like, oh, here comes another movie about an angry black man. Because that's what that comment was about. They didn't want people who have said it before, who have made complaints about black people in media. Always, the men are always angry, right? Because that is a comment I've seen, I've heard. But again, it comes down to, you could have avoided that by just showing his story the way it was meant to be shown, so people knew why he was angry. You could have done that, but instead, You did the ignorant thing, and that's why I said it was ignorance, guys. That's why I'm saying this is ignorance. It's not racism, it's just straight ignorant, because they wanted to try to prevent it being a race issue, but instead of doing it the way it just should have been done, with the black man who basically set this story up, helped create this story arc to be told.
Amen.
So
yes. I'm sorry, I'm just
seriously. No, but that's what it is. It pisses me off because Hollywood keeps doing this shit. Excuse my French. I know you don't do swearing, but this shit pisses me off. The more Hollywood keeps trying to portray black people and try to make it sound like we have to look a certain way, like if history's there, people read your history. Not everything you do that involves people of color is going to be offensive. Just do it the way they were meant to do it. Have black people have creative freedom to tell you that what to do and how to make your movies come off accurate, like Ray Fisher did. That's why he was pissed. He was brought on so that he could make the story, so we didn't have to make it a goddamn friggin' race issue. And you took that away from him and then had the audacity to be like, we can't have an angry black man. You wouldn't have had an angry black man. You would have just had an angry man who had a story that made sense why he was angry. You idiots. And this is why I tell people, stop supporting these idiots. They're going to keep doing this stupid shit all the freaking time. And now I'm pissed. You want an angry black? I'm an angry black girl. How about that? Instead of having, I'm an angry black woman because it's stupid. Your ignorance is stupid. Thank you for trying to look out for black people, trying to look out for us, and trying to portray us in a certain light. You had a black man who was telling you how to do it. Listen to him.
Right.
We got a smiling white man. Okay. Whew. Oh, no, wait, he's not smiling. No, wait.
Sorry, that comment pissed me off so bad because it's like when I first read this, and that's why I said full freaking circle, people, because he was hinting at this stuff for months. And for months, these people are on YouTube saying that he had no reason to bitch and moan and complain. He did. And if you don't understand why he got upset, especially when we get to the whole booyah thing, because I even didn't understand the issue to that until I read this article. And let me tell you, he had a good reason to be upset with that line. And the more people need to understand that and stop speaking on behalf of black people or other people who find fault with this stuff. You don't speak for us either.
Q here with a $5 super chat says, man, it's painful to be a DC fan. Thanks to Warner Brothers. You're absolutely right. Yes. Yeah. I guess one step too far says I should just give you my channel.
No, that's okay. I like being a side character. Thank you.
I can't follow that.
I'm sorry, but this has been stewing ever since I read that article. I'm telling you, I was reading this article and I don't really read articles. Like I skim. I'm a good reader. I can skim things and get things. I read that whole word for damn word. And let me tell you, a lot of that stuff I was pissed. And then you see people on Twitter, oh, that's not enough for call people this and that. No, you're right to a degree. But at the same time, and that's why I had to be here, because like I said, I know how it is when you look at Enosh's skin tone, look at Brian's skin tone. People will make it an issue, right? Enosh and Brian are the most inclusive, sweet people. They will give their shirts over anyone's back. And I refuse to let anyone, especially when we have YouTube, anyone make them look like they're not good people and make it and that they're being angry white men complaining. No, F off. That's all I gotta say about that. That's just woo.
Hey, Brian, I almost feel like we should do the rest of the show shirtless.
Do it. I'm down. I need to cool off. I need to cool off anyway.
I don't know if that's gonna cool you off though. I don't know. I know how you get sometimes, Saggy. I don't know.
If you want to see man boobs, I'm your guy.
I really got hot. I'm sweating after that rant because I'm telling you, my blood boils.
I believe it. So so they wanted a brighter tone for the film, adding joy and hopefulness to all 6 superheroes. There are always conversations about avoiding any stereotype of race, gender, or sexuality. Look at how happy they all were here. Look how happy they all were in this picture. Like, you can tell, can't you? They were all just so happy. Johns told Fisher he should play the character less like Frankenstein and more like the kind-hearted Quasimodo. Fisher says that in order to demonstrate the look he wanted, Johns dipped his shoulder in what struck Fisher as a servile posture. To Fisher, there was a big difference between portraying a character who was born with a disability versus one who had been transformed by trauma, and he felt Cyborg was a kind of modern-day Frankenstein. I didn't have any intention of playing him as a jovial, cathedral-cleaning individual, he says.
I think that would be a lot more like I don't want to say you got your smiling black guy cleaning the floors. What can I do for you, boss? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, dude.
Listen, this is where Jay messed up with getting Joss on this. And I said this earlier. Joss did good with Marvel. Do you know why? Because Marvel characters are more campy than DC characters. I'm sorry, I'm a Marvel fan, and even I know that a lot of their characters are more campy. You know, they make jokes and it's funny. It works for Marvel. What works for Marvel isn't gonna work for DC. The characters, Superman, Batman, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, they all have they have pretty dark stories. They do. What's Iron Man's big dark origin story? He's a billionaire who has money. His dad died, but it didn't matter. He had money. He was a genius. Okay, he wasn't really sad. Did Iron Man look sad to you? Did Iron Man ever look sad of the loss of his father?
Well, he was just pissed off and ready to murder his friend and a guy who had been mind controlled. That, you know, DC
is not Marvel. Joss Whedon coming in because they saw him as he made Marvel a lot of money, and I will say this many times so I'm blue in the face. Joss Whedon didn't save Marvel. Marvel saved Marvel. They sacrificed their biggest characters that would have made them the most money so that they could survive to keep doing what they're doing. Joss just came in because he's a camp. He makes films and stuff that are campy and funny. It works for Marvel characters, not DC. So F you, Joss Whedon, you bald bitch. Excuse me, sorry.
Woo! Yeah.
Hey.
I don't like this man.
You know what? Look. Ray is absolutely right. You know what? This is what I say. You don't have to go telling everybody who you support and what you do if you're just doing the job. If you're getting it done. Because your words are pointless. Your words are meaningless. Oh, man.
By the way, no shade on bald. By the way, no shade on bald people. I love bald men.
There you go.
I stand by the other B word, though.
All right. So John's representative responds. Good on him. Jeff gave a note using a fictional character as an example of a sympathetic man who is unhappy and has an inclination to hide from the world, but one whom the audience roots for because he has a courageous heart. You know what, guys? Jeff isn't a racist. He's just misunderstood. He just has a hard time finding the right explanation at the time. That's what it is. That he just has a hard time coming up with things on the spot. That, you know, I mean, obviously he's got a representative filling in the pieces for him here. You know, Fisher told Johns it might be one thing for a non-black person to write a character for a comic, but it was another for a black actor to portray that character on screen. It was like he was assuming how black people would respond rather than taking the advice from the only black person, as far as I know, with any kind of creative impact on the project, Fisher says. Fisher says Johns did not yield. That was the last creative conversation about anything that Jeff Johns and I had. I knew I was on my own, Fisher says. John's rep denies that he ever dismissed any comments. I mean, I didn't do anything wrong. Nothing. I will not take responsibility for anything, even maybe missaying something or, you know, saying something that maybe could have been, you know, misconstrued or whatever. Now, I didn't do anything wrong. I deny that I ever dismissed any comments, adding that Fisher knew Johns, whose spokesperson requested that he be identified as Lebanese American. Please.
By the way, the movie is evidence that you did not listen. Just saying.
Pretty much. The evidence is all shot and on screen, and unfortunately, I have a Blu-ray of it in the other room. Maybe not for long, though. Had evolved traditionally all white DC properties like Shazam, Justice Society of America, and others into diverse groups of heroes in his extensive work as a comic book author. Man, look at that Lebanese American go. Justice League producer Charles Roven, a veteran of DC superhero films dating back to Batman Begins in 2005, says, I fully emphasize with Ray that his character arc was significantly altered and shortened. I also collaborated with Jeff over many years and found him to be a gracious and humble man. Jeff took it upon himself to put Cyborg in the Justice League comics in the first place and has written more about the character than any other individual except for the creator. He loves the character Cyborg, so much so that he's absolutely basically cut his manhood off in figuratively and kind of realistically in the show. What's the show?
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol. That's a horrible representation of Cyborg. It is so trivial, and Cyborg is such just a little peasant kind of, sidekick guy that, can't do any of the things that we see in Zack Snyder's Justice League, that we see Cyborg literally able to control the entire world, given what he can do. We don't see any of that explored in Doom Patrol. No, in Doom Patrol, he's like, doing little minimal tasks, and figuring out how to have sex with his girlfriend. That, that's what he does in Doom Patrol. So congratulations. Way to go, Jeff. Solving the tough issues, the tough questions. We appreciate it. That's what we needed. All these tensions were playing out during an extremely stressful time at the studio. AT&T's $85 billion acquisition of Time Warner, which was announced in October 2016, but didn't close until June of 2018, was still pending. Justice League was a $300 million proposition, and it was troubled. Warner's had not been able to match Disney's consistent success with Marvel movies. Fisher felt that some of the studio executives' decision-making was driven by fear of losing their jobs. Oh, yeah, and they probably wanted that what was that they wanted at the end of the year that they needed? It was like a
starts with a B.
Oh, yeah.
Get the bonus.
Yep, they needed that bonus. Got to make sure that you got that bonus in by the end of the year for sure, because if you didn't get the movie out in time, if the acquisition went through, then you weren't going to get that bonus. So the tension escalated. Oh, it escalated when the issue of having Cyborg say "Booyah" arose. That phrase had become a signature of the character thanks to the animated Teen Titans shows, but the character had never said it in the comics or in the original script. Fisher says that Johns had approached Snyder about including the line, but the director didn't want any catchphrases. I mean, oh, you mean like Superman doesn't say up, up, and away, or
I'm a big fan of Justice.
Yeah, or, and Wonder Woman doesn't say like great Hera, and, yeah, okay. Yep. He managed the situation by putting the word on some signs in his version of the film as an Easter egg. But John's rep says the entire studio believed the "Booyah" line was a fun moment of synergy. Fisher says he doesn't see the word in itself as an issue, but he thought it played differently in a live-action film than the animated series. And he thought of Black characters in pop culture with defining phrases. Gary Coleman's "What you talking about, Willis?" Jimmy Walker's "Dynamite," as no one else in the film had a catchphrase, he says. It seemed weird to have the only Black character say that.
Mm-hmm. This is where I chime in. I've been stewing on this one. When I read that in my head, so when the first talk of the issue with "Booyah," in my head, I was like, I didn't understand why it was an issue, because I love Teen Titans, the TV show, and that was Cyborg's thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I read that part that Enosh just read, now it makes sense. Again, full circle why this makes sense, because Black people in entertainment, when he says, Gary Coleman with the what you talk about, woos, and all these other things, there was a reason why they all of them had catchphrases. They because Black people in entertainment, especially in that day, it was around the time when racism was still very heavy, and Black entertainers were comedians. They were funny. That was how they made people laugh. They made the white people laugh and giggle, right?
Mm-hmm.
They needed catchphrases to be catchy so people would say it, right? And that was the whole gimmick. black people were a prop. Okay,
Yeah, it's
they
like
were props.
tokenizing in it.
Right.
In a big way.
We'll be honest. They were props back in media back in the day. That's what they were. Now, it'd be one thing if what Ray's saying, all the characters in the franchise use their signature catchphrases that they have used in comics and other entertainment, right? But why was he the only one? Like, yeah, was I excited when he said booyah? I sure was when I first heard it. But now that I have more context to it and why he had issues with it, he is right. Why was he the only one that had to say his signature character thing and nobody else was saying it? Wouldn't it have been nice to, because in all the other movies, they never said any of their catchphrases. Why was he the first and only one who had to say it? It made no sense. He's
don't you remember that big scene where Batfleck yells to the Batcave?
Right.
Oh wait, that wasn't in there.
Right.
Yes, that wasn't in there.
None of them said it anywhere. Like, it'd be one thing if they maybe even, I would even give it to him to Hollywood, to WB, if they had them say these catchphrases in other movies before, right? And then they introduced Cyborg, and now Cyborg has to say his catchphrase, but none of them have said any of their signature catchphrases anywhere. Where are the Easter eggs for those too? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So again, he's making a point saying, why does it have to be my character? Why not any of the other ones? It had not, that seemed very sus. So I'm with him there.
Yeah,
with him there, 100%.
With reshoots underway, Fisher says Whedon raised the issue again. Jeff tells me Cyborg has a catchphrase, he told him. Fisher says he expressed his objections, and it seemed the matter was dropped until Berg, the co-chairman of DC Films and a producer on the project, took him to dinner. Oh, how nice. Took him out to dinner, wined him, dined him, and says, this is one of the most expensive movies Warner's has ever made, Berg said, according to Fisher. What if the CEO of AT&T has a son or daughter, and that son or daughter wants Cyborg to say booyah in the movie, and we don't have a take of that? I could lose my job. Fisher responded that he knew if he filmed the line, it would end up in the movie, and he expressed skepticism that the film's fate rested on Cyborg saying booyah. Yeah, I don't think I don't think that was the point, John.
Because I don't think it took away from the Snyder Cut.
No, I believe the Snyder Cut was pretty amazing without. No, it did not have booyah in there. So I think it was it was okay. I think it was okay that it wasn't in there. It says, but he shot the take, of course. And as he arrived on the set, he says Whedon stretched out his arms and said a line from Hamlet in a mocking tone. Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you. Fisher replied, Joss, don't. I'm not in the mood. As he left the set after saying just that one phrase for the cameras, he says Whedon called out, nice work, Ray. What?
He was such a diva, guys.
God, what a jerk. Even before that line was shot, Fisher's agent had called Warner Film Studio chief Emmerich to raise concerns about what was happening on set. After Fisher arrived in Los Angeles for additional photography in summer of 2017, Johns asked him to come to the DC offices in Burbank. When they met in a conference room, Fisher said he had apologized to Whedon for his part in the conflict, which he had done in the hope of preventing a real rupture with the DC team. Johns responded that having agents call Emmerich was just not cool. Just not cool, man. It's just not
cool.
Over
my head, man.
Come on, man. It's just not cool. You know, like, be cool, dude. Like, just be cool. Fisher recalls he said, I consider us to be friends. Yeah, which he knew we were not. And I just don't want you to make a bad name for yourself in the business. Fisher took that as a threat. I would too. John's rep says
that's pretty thinly veiled myself.
Yeah. John's rep says he never made a threat, but told Fisher that creative differences were. I love how everything that Ray says he basically says, "Oh, I didn't say that. I mean, I just said it in a pretty way. I did say it just in a different way." He says, I never made a threat, but I told Fisher that creative differences were not normally taken to the head of a film studio by an actor's agent. Fisher was not the only Justice League star who was unhappy. Sources say Whedon clashed with all of the stars on the film, including Jeremy Irons. Now you gone too far.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you piss off Alfred, man?
And one Justice League star ended up taking her complaints not only to the head of the film studio, which is just not cool, man. It's just not cool, but also to the chairman of Warner Brothers. A knowledgeable source says Gadot had multiple concerns with the revised version of the film, including issues about her character being more aggressive than her character in Wonder Woman. She wanted to make the character flow from one movie to the next. The biggest clash, sources say, came when Whedon pushed Gadot to record lines she didn't like, threatened to harm Gadot's career, and disparaged Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins. But I believe Joss Whedon.
I support Joss.
I believe Joss Whedon. I believe Joss Whedon. While Fisher declines to discuss any of what transpired with Gadot, a witness on the production. Why isn't he saying what happened?
Because that's her story to tell.
Thank you.
Gosh, I'm sorry. That's like
right.
People are so stupid when it comes to this. It's like,
but I want to know, Brian.
Okay, every time that Ray Fisher made a comment is in this article. Okay, and every time the people on the corner and whatever the hell you want to call them, went opposite. It's really funny though, because one of them like vehemently defends Patty Jenkins.
Amazing.
Seems a little hypocritical in my book. That's all.
I think so. I think so.
Access is a bitch.
Yep. The fact that Ray Fisher didn't just knock Joss Whedon the F out amazes me. I wouldn't have that kind of self-control.
I'd have walked off set. Fuck you.
I'd have been done.
Yeah. No. Sorry. I'm out.
I would have been done. Hey, TTC Sniping with $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, sir. Says hashtag restore WB, hashtag restore the Snyderverse, hashtag fire Toby Emmerich. I tell you what, it's really getting to be that point. I really think so. Whitaker Caton with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, sir. Says, I wish DC Comics would separate or could separate from Warner Brothers. I'm with you on that because you know what? We've said this time and time again.
No, it's the only way to go forward positive.
They don't deserve these characters. They don't know what the heck to do with them. And they just don't go forward, Brian. They don't know what the heck they're doing. They keep messing this stuff up.
No, it's like they take one step forward and then 2 steps back. And it's like, oh guys, like our dance? It's like, dude, you're backing yourselves into a wall and you're getting crushed in the process. And not only that, but you're making it hard for people who actually do support your work to defend it against other people. It's like, how do you defend this against a Marvel movie? You really can't.
No. And look at this. When Fisher declines to discuss any of what transpired with Gadot, a witness on the production who later spoke to investigators says that after one clash, Joss was bragging that he's had it out with Gal. He told her he's the writer and she's going to shut up and say the lines. And he can make her look incredibly stupid in this movie.
I'm not going to say Wonder Woman looks stupid, but I guess, I guess he made it his point, didn't he? God, what a jerk!
you know, Brian. How many times have we talked about this on the channel and on other people's channels, right? And the people who come at us and say these people aren't like that. These people are professionals. They wouldn't try to do that. You're literally Joss Whedon coming to the set of a movie that you have been asked to come in and basically keep going and actually save, and you are literally threatening to make one of the stars of the movie look stupid.
That's really petty.
Because that's what you want. That's what you want from your filmmakers, is for them to be having arguments where they say that they can make an actress look stupid and for her to shut up and just say the lines.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one for.
I know Saggy. Yeah, I know Saggy had to step away for a second, but we're definitely going to have to revisit that comment when Saggy comes back. Because shut up and say the lines, dude.
Yeah, just shut up and act.
A knowledgeable source says Gadot and Jenkins went to battle culminating in a meeting with then Warner's chairman, Kevin Tsujihara. Asked for her comment, Gadot says in a statement, "I had my issues with Whedon and Warner Brothers. Handled it in a timely manner." Gal Gadot, class act all the way. Not going to get pulled into it. I love it. 3 months after Justice League hit theaters, Whedon exited Warner Brothers' Batgirl project. Thank God. That's what we needed. Him was around more women.
Yeah, right.
Batgirl is such an exciting project, and Warner DC such collaborative and supportive partners that it took me months to realize I didn't have a story, he said at the time. What an idiot. I worked on this thing for months, Brian. I was working for months, man, and it was so exciting. It was so amazing. It took me months to realize I just didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't have a story.
Well, at least he admitted it.
I guess so, man. I wish he would have admitted it before he got done with Justice League. So when Justice League opened in November 2017, the film was panned. It had a 40% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and grossing a disappointing $658 million worldwide. Berg exited his job that December. Johns departed the following June. But Whedon was still part of that Warner Media universe. In July 2018, a few months after he left Batgirl, HBO greenlighted his drama The Nevers, set to straight to series. But in November 2020, just a couple of weeks before Warner Media said it had taken remedial steps after its investigation into Justice League, Whedon left that project too. HBO chief Casey Bloys has said there were no complaints about Whedon's behavior on that series.
Well, that's because they didn't really have a chance to get started, really.
Yeah, really, right?
Come on, you give him a chance, he'll do it.
Yep, give him a chance. All he needs is a chance, just an opportunity. This time, Whedon said he was not up to the physical challenges of making such a huge show during a global pandemic. That's amazing when there's so many more professional filmmakers who are out there getting the job done, Brian. Yeah, Warner's issued a clipped, "We have parted ways" with Joss Whedon. After Justice League, Fisher went on to play Mahershala Ali's son in the third season of True Detective, which he calls a great experience. But in the coming months, he would hear fresh reports about what had gone on behind the scenes on Justice League, including the angry black man conversation and other allegations involving Johns. Two individuals who worked on Sci-Fi's Krypton TV series talked to Fisher about events that had taken place on the series. This is what ticks me off. Multiple sources tell The Hollywood Reporter that the show's creators were passionate about doing some non-traditional casting, and that Rajan Page, who would go on to become a breakout star of Bridgerton, had auditioned for the role of Superman's grandfather. But Johns, who was overseeing the project, said Superman could not have a black grandfather. The creators also wanted to make one superhero character, Adam Strange, gay or bisexual, but sources say Johns vetoed the idea. So can I just point something out? Because I had some people come at me today giving me a hard time because I defended the idea that Superman's grandfather could be black. Okay? Because why not?
Well, yeah,
why not? And it was just because Superman's white. Literally the transaction. I would bring up the tweets. If you follow the Poindexter Lounge on Twitter, you can read the tweets for yourself. Ignorance. Absolute ignorance by somebody who claims to be a writer, first of all, but just says, it's just race bending. It's just race bending for race bending's sake. Okay. Zod was black. They could do that one, but they couldn't do this one, man.
But they're doing it now, though.
Oh, yeah, but see, Superman's white.
Well, not according to, from what I've heard about what's going on with the new Superman.
Yeah, but this was supposed to be based on like Henry Cavill. So like Superman's white, man. His grandfather can't be black, because don't you know there are no white people who have black ancestors, and vice versa.
Yeah,
right? Right? That never happens. That never happens, Brian. Real quick, Benson's with £5 super chat says, it is well known Whedon burnt himself out with the Ultron movie. I do not believe he was mentally ready to take on Justice League. He was lashing out. Could very well be. Could very well be. But you know what? It's still no excuse for him. But could very well be that he burned himself out, took on too much.
Well, then recognize that and not take on the job.
Exactly. Oh, my Diaz with a $5 super chat here says Walter Hamada, Joss Whedon, Jeff Johns, John Berg, Ann Sarnoff, Tommy Emmerich, or Toby Emmerich, I'm sorry, and Ryan Kavanaugh equals the Injustice League. It's seeming more and more true. And here's this part, just oh my gosh. So Jeff says no, Superman could not have a black grandfather. That's impossible. That's impossible. And Adam Strange can't be gay or bisexual. Jeff celebrates and supports LGBTQ characters, including Batwoman, who in 2006 was reintroduced as LGBTQ in a comic book series co-written by Johns. Says Johns' rep in an email. Johns also pitched Warner's on developing a television show around the first LGBTQ lead DC superhero television series. He adds, as for the role of Superman's grandfather, the rep says Johns believed fans expected the character to look like a young Henry Cavill.
Wow, it's kind of interesting now that they're not even considering Cavill anymore.
Well, here's something I want to show you. Here's something I want to show y'all. Because the grandfather can't be black because white people don't have any black ancestors. That just no, we don't do that. We know that never happens. Or go take a 23andMe test. Okay. Go take a 23andMe test and tell me again how we're just all pure white bread, right? That's what you really want, isn't it? Like whites are whites, blacks are blacks, and the two shall never meet, right? Or I think history tells a completely different story.
So my lesbian mom should never marry a black woman.
There you go. There you go. Blacks and whites never come together. Now, here's the man in question that they were talking about possibly. This guy actually he auditioned for the role of Superman's grandfather, right? Here's something interesting. Look at these two guys. Smoldering good looks on both of them. Look at that jawline. You know what? I don't think I would have had a problem with this.
No. Well, not only that, but aren't the TV shows supposed to be Elseworlds crap anyways? Like, who cares if it looks like Cavill or not? You could go any direction you want in your magical multiverse. Like, come on,
but see, when you're trying to explain away the fact, Brian, that you didn't want a black person to be Superman's grandfather and you have literally nothing, then you got to go, well, it's kind of loosely based upon this, upon the Henry Cavill version. So it's gotta be that. Although, okay, well, you took and you switched out the Zod that was in, Zack Snyder's movies in Man of Steel with a black man. So why does it have to be the exact same thing? Your own story doesn't add up, Jeff Johns, of your own explanation of why it has to be this way. Okay. And second of all, they're Kryptonians. If you're going by Man of Steel logic, Superman, Kal-El, was the first natural born Kryptonian in generations. Literal generations. So they were all genetically engineered people. We don't know what effect color of skin had on those generations and who they were and how those got passed down. Maybe they don't pass down the same way, but you're going to tell me that Henry Cavill is too white to have a grandfather that looks like this man. Shut up.
Right.
Shut up. Stop insulting my intelligence and the intelligence of fans. It's going to be too confusing. The fans won't understand it. That's what I was told today on Twitter. The fans wouldn't understand it if Superman's grandfather's black. How is that possible? I can't wrap my puny little head around it and understand how the heck. Oh my God, Superman's grandfather's black and his white. Oh my God, what? Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe his grandmother was white. Oh no, there's a whole other thing. Jeff Johns, what's your take on that? Is that okay?
Do people forget that people marry outside their race too?
No, that doesn't happen, Saggy. Saggy, that never happens. Don't you know that never happens? And you can't have predominant, genes, like where a white mother would have predominant genes, maybe, in that relationship and maybe have a white Jor-El son.
I have a white uncle. I'm sorry, people.
No, you don't. No, you don't. I will not sit here and listen to you.
Impossible.
That's impossible. Jeff John said no.
My uncle is so white that he lives in the South and he can be technically considered, I guess, a redneck, but he is white as hell. I love my uncle. By the way, I love you, Uncle Alan. If you ever see this, which I doubt you will, I love you, Uncle Alan, my white uncle, and he is white, and I am much darker than him. But yeah, apparently, according to logic by Hollywood, I cannot have a white uncle because it doesn't make sense.
No, and can I just explain something here? This is not about, oh, well, let's just get a black person in the role. Yes, they went in saying, hey, you know what? We're doing this kind of Elseworlds thing. Let's push the boundaries a little bit, right? And yes, that might mean, yes, we're looking at maybe pushing the boundaries of maybe some of these characters or whatever. But to me, it's all about the actor. Okay? Look, for example, at Lawrence Fishburne. Lawrence Fishburne is absolutely amazing as Perry White. And I'm just going to be honest with you. He's the best Perry White we've ever had. Black man playing a traditionally white character. Okay? Absolutely fantastic. At no point when I'm watching Man of Steel, BVS, or any of those movies, am I sitting there thinking, oh, this doesn't work. Perry White is supposed to be white. It's in his name. It's in his name even. He's got to be white. Okay. You know why? Because Lawrence Fishburne is doing a tremendous job acting. Now, yes, the guy who got the job on Krypton did a great job. But what if this guy did a better job? He auditioned. But you notice here, Jeff Johns didn't say, hey, you know what? We auditioned a few different people, and I think that this guy did a better job. Okay, that right there, I agree with you. I don't believe in just race bending stuff just to throw somebody of a different color in or
give an argument based on merit instead.
Exactly. This argument is because somebody said to me, "How can you say that's racist? You're throwing around a racist word," and I will say it. I will say it because this is not just ignorance. This is a racist comment because you are judging somebody based upon the color of their skin instead of the merit of their acting ability. You're saying that this person cannot be Superman's grandfather, not because somebody who was white just happened to do a better job and we're going to give him the role because we feel that he had the best qualifications, that he came in and did the better job. No, because Superman's grandpa can't be black. That's not a reason. Don't come at me with that. Don't come at me with that lame excuse and try to tell me that is anything other than a racist comment. Even if he doesn't think he's racist, that's a racist comment. If I tell you that you can't do something, Saggy, because you're black. No, you know what? I would love to have you on the show, but I just found out you're black, and I'm sorry, but I have some white women who would like to come on the show, and you know what? Black women are just not as good at being on the show. So thanks, Saggy.
This is why I stopped cosplaying. Comments like this is why I stopped cosplaying. If you guys want to know why I don't actively cosplay, These are the things why I'm too black to cosplay characters I like. Or even better, I'm not thin enough. But more importantly, I am not white enough to cosplay characters that I like to cosplay. And that's the core reason why I retired from it, because I was tired of posting my pictures on Instagram and having people say I can't cosplay these characters because I'm black. These comments are why.
It's garbage. It's a garbage statement, and you cannot defend that. You can't defend it because it's not just simply, they're trying to tell us, that it has to be black. No, it's the way Jeff addressed it. It's the way that he addressed it. It's not going off the merits of the actors, not making an actual statement about that, but just saying, oh, Superman's white. His whole family lineage has to be pure white. Ooh, what does that sound like?
That sounds very, what's the word I'm looking for here? Goebbels-esque. No, I think not only is it insulting, because it's basically saying that we're too stupid as an audience to understand that. And I find it so very rich from the U-Turn company, because let's call it what it is here. They don't like something, so we do a complete and total U-turn.
Yep.
I argue that their plans going forward with this multiverse will confuse more people than having Jor-El's dad be black.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I think that the multiverse idea that they're doing is a total mistake, because it's just going to alienate people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, this whole situation, it's like I finished, I just kind of maybe it's time to walk away from these guys. Maybe it's time to go spend my money elsewhere and to give my time and effort. They don't understand the amount of time that we put into watching and consuming their content.
Oh, I know. And look, as somebody who loves the multiverse and loves the idea of the multiverse, there are things that can be explained. Okay. Mm-hmm. You can put out crazy concepts. Just explain it. And even so, this is not a concept that I don't think that anybody would see this manly looking black man who is obviously he's a good looking black man. He's got a square jawline. He looks like he could be Superman. Okay. And no, they're going to get confused. People are going to get confused. They're going to be like, why is Superman's grandpa black? That's the question they're going to be asking. Benson's with a £5 super chat says, my point is WB would have known, and they were still willing to dump on Zach and put somebody in not up to the job, hurting the actors in the process. Absolutely. They had to have known that this was not something that they just stumbled upon or whatever. It's like they knew what was going on here. They and they still allowed it to happen. Let's see. I believe. Okay, I don't believe I missed anybody here. Brian, you could tell me if I missed one between that Benson's one. Did I miss one?
Don't think
Azure?
so.
Okay.
No.
Azure with the $5 super chat says, I wasn't around at the time. Was there ever a huge stink about Black Harvey Dent in Batman 89? I definitely don't hear about it. I don't know if there was, but that's another one that it was like Billy D. Williams. That was the whole point. He took the job of being Harvey Dent, was to be Two-Face. And next thing you know, 2 movies later, it ain't Billy D. No, we got to bring in the hot actor. We got to bring in the white guy. I don't know if that's what it is. So I don't want to say, just that it's the white guy. I just, it's, it's frustrating. Yeah, Benson's with a £2 super chat says, we still have some people saying Jesus was white. I know. I was at my church today, and we were in the office and we were looking at a picture, and it's this white Jesus, and it's like, yeah, nope. And the picture ain't on the wall. That's all I'll say about that. The picture ain't on the wall no more, because that's it's just stupid. We it's frustrating. It is definitely frustrating. Here are a couple more here before we continue on here. Enosh, what does Saggy say here? Enosh just got brought into the black community. I love
Did you not see the comment? Did you
no,
not
I didn't
see the
No,
comment?
where was the what was the comment?
I'll type it in the back. Up to the back.
Okay. Yeah, no, I missed the comment. I missed that comment. Okay. All right. So if you can find that comment, great. Why won't I let Saggy come on cam? Yep, I'm keeping her in the back because we want to keep the allure of that. Enosh is invited to cookout. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I saw that one comment. I don't want to repeat it, but it's one of those things where you see that and you're like, "Ooh, Enosh was invited in."
Whoa!
Enosh was invited in with that one. He was invited in.
Well, heck. I appreciate the sentiment.
It's all right. I got married into the cookout. It was fun.
There you go. There you go. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yep. You know what? Rel says I would fit right in. So there you go. You know what? That's fine with me. That's fine with me. Oh my gosh. You guys are funny. You guys are hilarious in here.
Fun stuff.
Jeez. TTC sniping with a $4.99 super chat says Enosh WB told Zach to not film Wayne T. Carr's Jon Stewart and put it on Zack Snyder's Justice League. That's right off the bat smells racist to me. I don't care. I don't care. Is that what that means? IDC?
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't care. Yeah, look, I don't know what's going on with that Jon Stewart thing and Wayne T. Carr. I know that they're saying, well, we planned on doing something else with, the character or whatever. Okay. But you didn't. So when are we going to get that Green Lantern stuff, huh? Jeff Johns, you're supposed to be working on that Green Lantern stuff, right? So
all I'm saying is I have a show to look forward to that has done great historically with representation. This is why I'm glad to be a Star Trek fan. Captain Sisko, my favorite captain. It has nothing to do with the color of his skin. He's an awesome character. And that was in the 90s. So they were tackling these issues way back when. So it's like, no, dude, the perspective that these people need to get.
Thank you, Angie, with the $5 super chat. I just want to officially invite you to the cookout. Well, I will tell you this: I can cook. So I'll bring something for sure. That's so funny. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you all. Wow.
I'm just surprised you missed it. He said it twice.
Did he? Well, I'm trying to go through my StreamYard kept jumping. That's why I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss a super chat. But wow.
Yes.
Wow.
That's a pass, bro. That's an invite.
There you go.
Well, you know what? That's fine. That's fine, and I'll take that all day, because I'll feel right at home. All right. I'll just let you know. I feel right at home. So there you go. Several sources who spoke to Fisher around this time were willing to talk to Warner's investigator. Among them was writer Nadria Tucker, who tweeted February 24th, "I haven't spoken to Jeff Johns since the day on Krypton when he tried to tell me what is and is not a black thing." Saggy, I can't wait to hear this from you. Tucker tells the Hollywood Reporter that Johns objected when a black female character's hairstyle was changed in scenes that took place on different days. I said, black women, we tend to change our hair frequently. It's not weird. It's a black thing, she says. And he said, no, it's not. Jeff Johns, ladies and gentlemen, giving black people
Jeff
hair
Johns said,
tips.
no, it's not.
Yes.
Okay, Jeff Johns, I want you to hear me loud and mother effing clear.
Oh no.
We black women do change our hair often, even go as far as to put what's known as weave in our hair. We change our color, we straighten it. Some of us
not real?
leave it curly.
That's
no,
not real?
it's not. Some of it's not. Oh my goodness, imagine that. So Jeff Johns, you don't know a GD thing. I'm trying really hard not to cuss because this stuff makes me so mad. You don't know anything about black women. What do you mean we don't what do you mean? Some women like our hair natural, which is fine, but some of us like for instance, for me, my hair it can be natural. A lot of people love my hair natural. Personally, me, I like my hair straight. So I straighten my hair. I spend a lot of money to get my hair done. Black women change our hair very frequently. And it doesn't matter what time of day it is. Sometimes we just want straight hair. Maybe we just want to look a certain way. Maybe we just want to feel pretty. And maybe for us, being pretty means we want straight hair right now. Who the hell are you telling a black woman that we don't change our hair, that our hair needs to be shown curly and natural all the time? Some black women are mixed. Some of our hair isn't even always curly. I'm mixed. My nationality is I'm Cape Verdean. For those of you who don't know, Cape Verdean is African and Portuguese mix. Okay, the island of Cape Verde is near Africa, and some of us have natural African style hair. Some of us have more Portuguese hair. My hair is a mixture of both. So who are you to say what women of color do with their damn hair? Not all of us have the same hair texture, sir. Some black women naturally do have nice straight hair. But who are you to tell us we don't have our hair changed? What kind of world are we living in where, as men especially, no offense to y'all men on the panel, but how you gonna talk about women's hair? Worry about your own nappy head. How about that, sir? You worry about my hair. How dare you? Absolutely not talk about we don't change our hair. What can Beyonce?
Look, you're not.
I was going to say
you're
that
not,
crap at a salon, dude.
Well, hey, look, you guys were Saggy. You were on the stream last night. I mean, look, like I've done a few different things with my hair over the years, right? I mean,
you
like
have more naturally curly hair than I do. What you mean? Enosh had a fro last night. Damn it!
I did. I had my fro on, like I'm telling you, and so I mean I got that, but you know I like to do some different things. I like to change it up. This was me when I was 18, you know. It's yeah, and then you know, but then hey, guess what? Tiffany one night she told me I think I can straighten your hair, and I was like, no, you can't, and she proved me wrong. And you know, and gave me the Billy Ray Cyrus haircut that he has right now. You know, so you know, it is what it is, man. We can change. People freaking change their hair all the time, Jeff Johns. Just because you're missing half of yours and hide it under a baseball cap. I'm wearing a baseball cap too, but guess what? I got mine. And again, that's not to save somebody who doesn't, but don't be giving hair tips if you ain't got no hair.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm nowhere to talk. I got like this patchy unicorn thing going on here.
I feel like I feel like this man has never met a black person in his damn life. Have you not met a black person since until you went on Justice League? Like, I'm very confused. How could you say something so stupidly ignorant? Oh my Lord! Like, boy, how are you? First of all, women in general, black or white, women in general do so much to their hair.
No, they
and
don't.
Black women. Well, I don't know. Tiff, I've seen Tiff with different hairstyles. So
No,
what? So, no, okay, I'm sorry. I guess Tiff doesn't count. But how are you gonna say black women don't change their hair? We change our hair very often because we have naturally curly hair. We want it straight. We want it dyed.
Jeff John said no.
Jeff John can. The things I want to say, but I can't because I'm on the Poindexter Lounge. But let's just say Jeff Johns can go do something that I can't say because I'm on the Poindexter Lounge, but trust me, he can go somewhere with that. Oh my Lord, man!
How about pound sand? There we go.
Yeah, Benson,
eat sand.
Mark,
eat sand.
Mark with a £2 super chat. You're absolutely right. It's awfully strange, isn't it? Isn't it awfully strange? And how it must suck to have to keep on with a narrative that makes no sense. Like Justice League was better than Zack Snyder's Justice League. Sure, we believe that. Yep. Enosh has VIP access to any hood now. Man, I was raised in the hood. I was literally raised in Flint, Michigan, man. I was raised on the bad side of Flint, Michigan, man. So absolutely. Like I fit in just fine. Oh my gosh. You guys are hilarious.
Man, we're talking about black women's hair. Like that's like, I understand I understand that there are black women should be rocking their curly hair more often. But here's the thing, right? Do you know why black women start straightening our hair? Because again, this dates back to knowing your history. Black women straighten their hair to look more appealing because they wanted to look more or less black so they can be entertainers. Look at the history of all the entertainers of black women back in the day. They all straightened their hair, or they wore wigs, so they didn't have that naturally curly hair because it wasn't something that people wanted to see. That it turned them off, I guess, whatever. So black women started straightening their hair, and then it just became a style. We like our hair straight. But I will agree, black women should be rocking their natural curls more often. But who is Jeff Johns to dictate when we do that? Like, yeah, rock the fro. Let the fro go. Let it go. Let it go, Enosh. Let the fro go. Let it go.
Just brush it out here.
Let that fro go. Look at that. Look at that. That's a fro, y'all. I'm just saying.
It's very Poindexter from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes. And Angie put it best. Angie put it yes. We started straightening our hair because of cultural assimilation. Because we were told we have to look more like everybody else. So we straightened our hair. That's what it was. Like, look at Enosh has a nicer fro than me. I want to say this. This Caucasian beautiful man has a nicer natural fro than I do. Okay? Look at that. That's a beautiful fro. You know he was... Did you wear a fro in the 70s, Enosh?
What's that?
Did you have a fro in the 70s?
No, I actually the funny thing is my hair was as straight as an arrow back then, man.
That's sad.
I had a bowl haircut back when I was like 5, so
I used to have the Bosworth.
Bosworth?
Oh yeah, the Boz, the haircut.
Poindexter Lounge, sponsored by Soul Glow.
Oh god. That commercial was so funny.
Sexual chocolate, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
By the way, y'all don't gotta cancel Jeff Johns. He's just stupid. He's just stupid. He's a stupid man.
Looking like the guy from Simply Red. Epic. Thank you. Appreciate that. We do what we got to do around here to make a point. That's all I'm saying. But Jeff Johns, like totally understandable that black women don't do anything different with their hair, Saggy. They can only have one style of hair. Yep. No. He said no, it's not. John spokesperson says, of course, I didn't mean that. I didn't say that. I just said that black women couldn't have other hairstyles because it wasn't something that they do. It says,
but it is what we do.
I know. John spokesperson says, what were standard continuity notes for a scene are being spun in a way that are not only personally offensive to Jeff, but to the people that know who he is, know the work he's done, and know the life he lives, as Jeff has personally seen firsthand the painful effects of racial stereotypes concerning hair and other cultural stereotypes, having been married to a black woman who he was with for a decade, and with his second wife, who is Asian American, as well as his son, who is mixed race. So what's your freaking excuse? But Superman's grandpa can't be black.
Let me get this straight. So he was married to a black woman, and this man has never went to her salon or paid for her to get her hair done or anything like that. So he's never seen her with another hairstyle other than whatever the hell he's talking about. Are you telling me this man did marry a black woman and had no idea about black hair treatment? You're telling me this man did not have thousands upon thousands of hair product for his wife alone in his bathroom? What? You're bugging. This man. What? I want to meet. Who was his wife? I need to talk to this woman. Be like, you didn't tell him about did you sleep with a silk cap on? Did he not understand why you were sleeping with a silk cap on at night, or why your hair was wrapped up at night? Why you were sleeping like that?
Saggy. She didn't do that.
Oh, clearly. I mean, maybe she did. I didn't actually do it, to be honest with you, because not all black women wrap their hair. But I'm just saying, it seems a little weird that he makes all his money and he married a black woman who I'm assuming makes money too, and he never once thought about her hair. Like you never looked at your wife and been like, "Wow, honey, I love your hair today." Really, my dude? Really?
Nope.
Really?
Not once.
Really?
Nope. By late June 2020. Fisher went public with his dissatisfaction at what he viewed as Warner's inaction. For their part, Warner's sources contend that Fisher was being manipulated by Snyder, who hoped to reclaim control of the DC film universe. That's how you do it. That's how you do it right there. That's Zach. Bravo. Yes, what a great plan you concocted, Zach, to try to regain the DC universe by having Ray Fisher go to bat against Warner Brothers. That makes total sense.
Well, in the mind of in the small minds of certain planets on the internet,
I know.
They must have loved hearing that part.
It was a plant. Zach had Ray infiltrate Warner Brothers to get this role and be part of this project under Zach, and then have Zach somehow have to leave because of a tragedy. But told Ray before he stepped off, "Hey Ray, now that I have to leave, don't let Warner Brothers take my baby. I need you to infiltrate and make up some crap to get them canceled. That's what we're gonna do." Like, what is wrong with these people?
I feel like we should go back to the 90s with those Stop the Insanity commercials. Stop the insanity. Like, what the heck? It's all Zach's fault. It's all Zach's fault now.
It's all Zach's fault.
Yeah, it's all Zach's fault. It's all Zach's
because he wanted to take over the
it.
DCEU. It's all there, guys.
Yeah, it's all there. It's all right there. Fisher says that the assertion that a black man would not have his own agency is just as racist as the conversations that Warner leadership was having about the Justice League reshoots. He says, I've been underestimated at every turn during this process, and that is what has led us to this point. Had they taken me as seriously as they should have from the beginning, they would not have made as many foolish mistakes as they did in the process. Snyder denies any role in influencing Fisher. So they've asked these questions of everybody, and everybody said, nope, that's not what happened. Tweeting footage of himself praising Whedon at Comic-Con in 2017, Fisher wrote, I'd like to take a moment to forcefully retract every bit of this statement. His earlier words had been based on studio supplied talking points, he says. In a subsequent tweet, he talked about that when he was here, if you all remember. He talked that he was given those talking points and made to say that. He said Whedon's on-set behavior had been gross, abusive, unprofessional, and completely unacceptable, adding he was enabled in many ways by Jeff Johns and John Berg. He did not elaborate. Berg told Variety it was categorically untrue that we were enabled that we enabled any unprofessional behavior. He added that Fisher was upset about saying booyah.
That just sounds like a diversion to save face.
Right? No. We didn't do any of that. He just didn't want to say booyah.
I was gonna say, who wrote part of this? Andy Signore? Like, good Lord.
Well, you said it, not me. As Fisher continued to air grievances on social media and in some interviews, he began to suspect that when he tweeted, the studio would put out an announcement to detract from his message. On July 1st, the day that Fisher tweeted about Whedon's behavior, Deadline published an exclusive saying Warner's was making a live-action Frosty the Snowman movie with Aquaman star Jason Momoa voicing the iconic snowman. A few weeks later, Momoa pushed back on an Instagram post saying, I think it's effed up that people released a fake Frosty announcement without my permission to try to distract from Ray Fisher, speaking up about the crappy way we were treated on Justice League reshoots, he wrote. Serious stuff went down. It needs to be investigated and people need to be held accountable. Warner Brothers says the untitled Snowman comedy remains in development. It's coming, folks. Warner Brothers is on it.
But is it starring Jason?
Not according to him. So I don't know.
Okay.
In early July, Fisher spoke with Walter Hamada, who had taken the reins at DC Films. He says Hamada called Joss an a-hole and said, I'm just looking to get past anything to do with Justice League. Joss isn't here anymore, and I don't plan on hiring him again. But according to Fisher, Hamada said he did not believe Johns had done anything wrong. I don't know John Berg very well. I know Joss was difficult, but Jeff, Ray, he's really getting dragged through the mud, and I'm sure you're getting your share of hate too, Fisher responded. I'm fine with the hate because I know I'm telling the truth. He asked for an investigation. Saggy, can you just for just a second, can you tell us what you think about this picture of Ray Fisher?
Ooh, hold on. Let me put my glasses back on. Hold on.
And he's so stoic. Yeah.
Oof. He is so beautiful. He's just such a beautiful man. He's got the oof. All right. You can take it off screen now. Okay. Thank you. No, he's such a
Hashtag
beautiful
Bay
man.
Fisher.
Yeah, that's why he's Bay. He is Bay Fisher, not Ray. Bay. B-A. I don't even know how to spell it anymore because I'm just so infatuated. There's three letters I can't even. Right, he's got those. Lord have mercy. That's some good G. Oof, Lord have mercy.
Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
Where are you going?
No, Benson's. I don't give those guys any time of my day. Especially after all the crap that went through with Max. I have nothing. Sorry, I don't need to be shouted down by a blowhard because that's basically what he is. And
you're killing this for me, Brian. You're killing it. You're killing it. I'm trying to love.
Oh, you're marveling at the Fisher.
Yes, you're killing it for me. Talking about all this craziness that is not relevant because Ray Fisher's on the screen right now, so we could just talk about how gorgeous and majestic he looks.
There you go.
Wait. Okay, we're done. No, just one more.
You know what you could do is open up that article in another tab and
start right now.
And just stare to your heart's content.
Okay, we can go. Okay, we can continue. I do have to leave in about 5 minutes.
We got to get through this. Okay. Later that month, the studio's HR department contacted Fisher. He says he spoke with 2 executives for about 2 hours. He adds that he offered specific allegations of abusive behavior towards himself and others and provided the names of some witnesses willing to be contacted, but he was weary. Cognizant that HR departments are often known to show more allegiance to employers than to complaining parties, he became even more suspicious, he says, when witnesses started telling him that they had not been contacted. Fisher requested an independent investigator and asked SAG-AFTRA to have a rep with him in the process. In mid-August, a Warner Brothers HR exec told Fisher that an outside investigator had been approved, but his guard went up when the exec said, "We really like him. We've worked with him before." God. Independent. We really like him. We've worked with him before. Still, Fisher tweeted that this represented a massive step forward. But then a Warner's veteran told Fisher not to trust the investigation if a particular studio exec was overseeing it because that person had previously helped sweep misconduct under the rug. When he spoke to the investigator, Fisher asked how many times he had worked for the studio. He declined to answer. Oh, that's a good sign, isn't it? Fisher asked who was overseeing the inquiry and said he would have an issue if it was the executive named by his contact. He still got no answer. Oh, yes. Vote of confidence right there. Feeling that the situation felt pretty dodgy, I would too, Fisher went no further. On August 26th, the investigator provided a name, citing an attorney in the general counsel's office. When Fisher looked at the Warner Media website, he found this individual was the only black attorney whose headshot was visible. And in fact, that lawyer had nothing to do with the investigation. She handled matters for HBO, HBO Max, TBS, and TNT. Fisher wondered if naming her had been a simple mistake or a ploy to lull him into a sense of security with the idea that she might be on the same team as me, simply by way of her being a black person. Yes. Yes. Get a black person to do it so that Ray feels better. Right. Feeling ever more distrustful, Fisher continued to tweet, writing on September 4th that Hamada had thrown Whedon and Berg under the bus while covering for Johns. Unfortunately, it's not until I start talking about people specifically that the needle starts to move. He says, if they were going to continue to try to cover things up, I wasn't going to let that happen. Fisher then got a call from Berg, who said he was sorry the actor had an appalling experience. This is what I found this interesting, that Berg actually apologized on Justice League, and he hadn't been able to help, acknowledging that a bunch of straight white men had been running things. He said he hoped the studio would improve on that in the future. Berg said he had spoken to the investigator at length and truthfully. I let him know that it did mean a lot, Fisher says. I'm not beyond forgiveness when it comes to this kind of stuff. It was a very big thing for him to do. No one else in the process had reached out at all. The studio, meanwhile, defended itself that day in a statement. At no time did Mr. Hamada ever throw anyone under the bus, as Mr. Fisher has falsely claimed, or render any judgments from the Justice League production in which Mr. Hamada had no involvement. The company said Fisher had refused multiple attempts by the investigator to contact him. Fisher saw that as a smear. And then in early October, top Warner Media execs spoke with Fisher and his team, including a rep. And Fisher's reps confirmed the content of the call. When Fisher pressed the question of how the investigator had come to provide the name of an in-house attorney who had nothing to do with the inquiry, a Warner's Media executive on the call responded that the investigator had just pulled the name off the internet. Yay. Man. And then, yeah, it just goes on here. Talks about the third-party investigator. Pressed by Fisher, Hauberger declined to say who at the studio had approved the statement, but said she was furious when she read it, talking about the statement that I think they believed what they were saying was true. Says I have made it 100% crystal clear to anyone in the entire Warner Brothers Communications organization that not a GD word can be said about Ray Fisher. If I catch anyone doing that, they're fired. Fisher says he asked for an apology repeatedly in the weeks that followed. Warner Media kicked around some language that he felt fell short. Ultimately, Hauberger told Fisher, I don't think that if people had something they believed was true, that there's an apology needed. After the studio put out the statement accusing him of not cooperating, what Fisher calls the hit piece, he asked for another investigator. Warner Media agreed to bring in Forrest, who was the other investigator. And then, let's see, the work alongside the original investigator. He objected, and the original investigator withdrew. So originally they wanted Forrest to just work along with the original investigator, and then he said no. So here's the point. Ray Fisher, once again, this time more so than ever, has dropped just a massive amount of information in this. And I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. He says here, it says that he wasn't surprised when I first spoke up. I assumed there was no way these guys would allow me to do my job in peace. That's why he walked away, or didn't walk away, but he said that he would not participate in any film involving Mr. Hamada. So he says, now working on the ABC anthology series Women of the Movement, Fisher says that he knew the struggle could be costly. I'm not so indebted to Hollywood that I haven't been willing to put myself out there, he says. I don't believe some of these people are fit for positions of leadership, says Fisher, who explains he's not looking for anyone to be fired. So there that shoots a hole in that whole narrative. He says, I don't want them excommunicated from Hollywood, but I don't think they should be in charge of the hiring and firing of other people. Fisher knows he's not going to win that battle, but he feels a point has been made. If I can't get accountability, he says, at least I can make people aware of who they're dealing with. At the end of the day, folks, that's all we can hope for. I found one other thing kind of interesting, and I'm interested to hear a take on this, because there's people defending Jeff Johns. Okay, there's people defending Jeff Johns, and think that Jeff Johns didn't do anything wrong, that Jeff Johns didn't do anything wrong. One is Ethan Van Sciver.
Damn.
Oh yeah. On that note, I love y'all. I do have a show I gotta do in a few minutes.
Can you just give me your take on what he says here? Watching Jeff Johns being degraded as a racist and canceled makes me physically ill. He is one of the most gifted and talented creators of the last few decades. Someone who knows DC characters inside and out after having seen Hollywood's bleak take on them. His fight is real.
Coming from a racist.
Yeah. Ethan. I've talked to Ethan once, and he seemed like a decent dude. I will say, I would have to debate with Ethan about that comment because,
Oh.
like I said, I'm not gonna say I don't say people are racist. I don't throw that word out very loosely. But again, even if he's not a racist, he is very ignorant. That's the first thing. The first thing is he's ignorant. I don't think, I think he's just an ignorant person who needs to be properly educated because he doesn't sound educated enough about Black culture and other people's culture to say the things and do the things he's done. So I will say, yeah, Ethan, I don't think he's a racist either, but I do think he's a very ignorant individual who needs to educate himself on these things better. So that's where I'll leave it on that because I do have my boss is waiting for me on StreamYards because I'm doing the thing. But I just want to say overall, guys, you know, my whole thing is if you guys want your voices heard, stop supporting these people. I know it's hard because you love the characters, you love the content, you want to see these things, but you're gonna have to make a stance where it's where it says accountability over entertainment. That means more than just accountability. If you want change, you have to be the change. Stop giving them money. They are businesses first and foremost. This is where their income comes from. They want to make money. This is where you get your voices heard by taking the money out of their pockets. Don't support them until they start listening. And that's all I have to say. Enosh, I love you. You're an amazing person. I'm so glad people have you here in the community to kind of, spread that truth. Brian, love you. Same thing. Love all of you guys. And I got to run. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Saggy. Thank you so much for bringing your perspective and your words and your rants. We love you. We love you.
I love you guys too.
And we stand with Saggy. All right. We'll see you later, Saggy.
Bye.
So look. Wow.
The only person that comes to its defense is Ethan Van Sciver. Like, come on, dude. I'm sorry. Dude, I know they're buddies and everything.
Wow.
But no, I agree with her. If you believe in accountability over entertainment, it's time to walk away. Because we're not going to get it. They've told us time and time again they just don't want anything to do with this anymore.
But you know what? We keep fighting for what we want. Look, things change. Regimes change, leaders change. And just because there's people in there now doesn't mean those people are always going to be there. And I tell you what, I guarantee you that if we keep the pressure on, that it's going to at least impact who takes those roles next. And they'll think
they'll just sit back and call us toxic for tweeting constantly.
Yeah, well, you know what? We're going to keep doing it. We are going to keep pushing forward because they want us to stop. Look, when good men do nothing, evil triumphs. And if we do nothing, if we just sit back and I think that's the thing to learn from Ray Fisher. Ray Fisher has been attacked up and down, left and right. How many people have tried to run Ray Fisher's name through the mud in the last year? How many people have literally thrown him under the bus, right? Made accusation after accusation about him, hated on him. Still tonight, we know that there are YouTubers who are going to make plenty of videos discussing how, Ray Fisher's a liar. Ray Fisher is making things up. Ray Fisher is taking things too far. But Ray Fisher ain't quitting because he's leading the way on this. And I'll tell you what, folks, we got to follow that cue. We can't go, like I've said many times in this last couple of weeks, quietly into the night and just disappear, because that's what the powers that be want. They want business as usual. And if we vote with our money, if we vote with our words and we put it out there, we can be a force for change.
Well, the thing is voting with your money means canceling your HBO Max.
I don't think it means that. I think it means supporting Zack Snyder's Justice League. Because here's the thing. This all has to do with this. All because we have to remember the structure here, right? We all have to remember the structure here, and each of these are their own separate companies. So you got Warner Brothers Pictures, you got Warner Brothers Media, you got different subsidies that connect, but they're not directly reporting to each other. So it does get it gets very sometimes I can understand how it gets very hard to decipher what is the best course of action, and I understand that. I definitely understand that.
Well,
but we have to listen to the people though who are affiliated with this stuff. We have to listen to people like Zach. We have to listen to people like Ray Fisher. We have to listen to people like Ray Porter, who have told us time and time again when both Rays were here just a couple of weeks ago. They told us don't cancel your HBO Max. That is not how you're going to win that fight. Do it by watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, by supporting Zack Snyder's Justice League, by tweeting about it, by keeping it in the public vernacular, by keeping these things trending. Today, right now, Jeff Johns is trending. Also trending is I Stand with Ray Fisher. Right? Those are things that, yes, they can ignore for a while, Brian, but we've already seen you can only ignore a force for so long. They ignored us once, and it didn't work.
I think it's the house is on fire. Okay, it's burning down. Okay, and we don't have anything but like cups of water to kind of pour on it. I just don't. It doesn't send a strong enough message. Not only that, but it's such a great time to be a nerd. You can actually just go and watch something else. Like that's me. I'm going to watch Star Trek because I love it. Okay. Yeah. And yes, they've done what they've done to fans and they're toxic and all that kind of stuff. And I agree. Star Trek fans are like, we started it. Okay. But like, I don't want to support them anymore because they'd be like kicking me in the gut every time I went to watch one of their movies. I haven't seen Godzilla versus Kong, and I probably won't because that's the system. And I understand we want to support the Snyderverse and see it going, but come to the end of the day, when they don't want to do it, there's nothing we can do unless we crowdfund it and buy the rights back from them.
No, because AT&T. Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing that people have to understand. AT&T is the key to this. AT&T are the ones who put Warner Brothers in their place in the first place and told them they had to make the Snyder Cut.
Okay, then they need to come out right now and give everybody a reason not to quit. Because right now, I'm done. As soon as my subscription runs out at the end of the month, I'm not going to renew it. Because they have not done anything to heal that wound. Nothing.
Well, but okay, I get where you're coming from. But here's what you have to understand too. First of all, you cannot announce something. You cannot talk about where something's going prematurely. This if and when, and I'm saying when because it will happen. It will definitely happen. If we keep on, hold on. Yes, they will. Brian, it's the exact same thing, man. It's the exact same thing as 4 years ago. This is not new. I think a lot of people are forgetting what happened 4 years ago and what we endured for 4 years, being told that it absolutely did not exist, that this was an absolute pipe dream, that we were crazy. This is not how Hollywood works. We're not giving it to you. We have absolutely no desire whatsoever. We just read a tweet last night that Warner Brothers has absolutely that was from 4 years ago. Warner Brothers has absolutely no interest in providing a Snyder cut of the Justice League film. They will not produce it. It is a pipe dream. You all need to give up and move on. That is exactly what we were told, man. It's exactly what we were told. The only difference is this time we know better. And here's the thing. This is not going to be something that's going to spring up overnight. You are not going to get an announcement overnight. They can't even do that because they have to go back to the drawing board. Because listen, first of all, Zach is going to make sure before he does anything else that he has ironclad in writing that they're going to go through with it, that they are not going to screw him over again, that they're not going to, because he's not going to go back into that same type of work.
I wouldn't blame him. And that's what I was like saying.
And neither would I.
It's like,
and neither would I.
Situation, it's like, I don't blame everybody if we just want to have a divorce right now. Let's just separate. You take the kids, I'll take the dog. Let's, go our separate ways. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm sorry. Like, I understand, like, we're all hopeful and stuff, but like, for me personally, it's just, I don't have faith in these people because they have not done anything to earn that faith from me.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, man. It is not the correct course of action. We have to stay the course. We cannot be moved and shaken from our course. We cannot be moved from this just because some people say, well, no, it's impossible, it's not going to happen. Because first of all, they have to negotiate all the entire thing from the ground up again. Okay, that's the thing. There is nothing there.
There's a big difference between,
it's going to take time.
Building the universe.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
But it's going to take time. It's going to take time.
Do people have that kind of patience though? And that's basically what I'm
have to. We have to. All I got to say is I know what I love. I know what's important to me, and look, I mean, you love Star Trek, okay? And so that's fine. I love Star Trek. I love Star Wars. I love.
But it's disappointed me at a time where I walked away. I stopped watching after Enterprise. Like I quit. I was like, I'm good, and I didn't watch again until 2009. So like, I don't know.
I get it, man. I get it.
It's a very uphill battle, and I'm like trying to be realistic about it. Like, well, I agree with Matt a lot about what he says about this situation. It's like, nah.
Here's the thing. I don't, and I love you all. But the reality is no. I'm sorry. I will stand on the mountain, and I will blow my trumpet all day long. And I have done it since the beginning. And when I thought I was all alone, and then I realized I wasn't alone, and I realized there were others around me. And I think that it's really easy to get disappointed and get discouraged, but we are not alone. And we have good days coming forward. And, there's some idiots right now who have done things. Now, a lot of these people aren't even there anymore. Okay, some of these people aren't even there anymore.
I think that's what they could do. They could clean house publicly to where we can all be like, okay, they take this seriously. Because right now it seems to me like they're not taking it seriously. And if they're not going to take it seriously, why should I?
Because you know what? Because it's something we love.
No, I know, but it's like, what do you do when something you love disappoints you so much to where you're questioning that love?
I don't question my love. I don't question my love for what I love. My whole life is this. This is my life. This is my life. I love these things. I absolutely love this universe. I love this fandom. I love these people.
And I do too. And that's what breaks my heart about all of this. It's like, it's just this community has been really great for me, especially for the last 3 months. I haven't been working. So it's like, this is the stuff that keeps me from falling into that depression. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah.
I love it and I appreciate it, but I'm just so discouraged by everything that's going on. And trust me, when I was in the Fandom Menace, it was the same thing with Star Wars. Oh man, they're not doing what we want. Blah 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 blah. But the difference is they had already made it something that they didn't like. Mm-hmm. We're asking for something like when a show gets canceled off television. You know what I mean? So it's like our requests are understandable, and it's just the fact that they're twirling their mustaches, looking down on us like the plebs. It's like, nah, dude. Sorry, man. I cannot. I don't like that. I don't like it at all.
Well, and that's exactly why I will not just. I cannot stand by and let that just fly. And that's things. I will stand for these things that I love, and I will be steadfast, and I will be here. And the thing is that I will try to lead the way for others, because they want nothing more than to divide us now than anything. They want us to give up. They want us to think, well, we got this. That's it. We're not going to be able to do it again. Let's just go home. That's what they want. That's what Ray Fisher's been talking about this entire time.
No, it's attrition.
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to divide and conquer. And if we allow them to blow us away, then we will lose. We will lose. And we won't see accountability. We won't see those things, and we'll see business as usual. Or we can stand for what's right, even in the face of, do I ever get a Zack Snyder verse ever again? you know what? To me, at this point, it's not even about that. It's not even about whether or not I see another movie or another TV show. It's about what's right is right. And this isn't right. This isn't right. And so that's why it has to be more than just a slogan. It has to be more than just a cool thing that, you know, like when things are, you know, look possible that we do it, but that, you know what, even in the face of it never happening, I'd rather be on the side of, I said, man, I want to be a part of this, and I want to stand with these people and encourage everybody who may falter a little bit and may be discouraged, but to lend out my hand to pull them up and say, you know what, this is stuff we love. Let's fight for what we love, not for the stuff that we hate. That's the difference to me between the Fandom Menace and this, because the Fandom Menace is fighting about things that they hate. I will fight for the things that I love, and I've invested my life in and my time in, and I'll be here. That's all I can say to anybody. I'll be here, and I hope that you guys are here with me. I'll be that you know, the hero maybe that we need. I don't know.
That's right. And I don't plan on not coming on anymore, guys. I love you guys. Like I said, it's just, for me, it's like, I don't know, just to bring a counter opinion to what's going on about it. Like, I don't know, man. And at the point, don't you get tired of fighting in them? Like, I just,
you know what? It's tiring, but you know what? You got to do what you got to do at the end of the day. And I'd rather go down fighting than having not fought at all.
No, that's true.
And that's why when I started using the hashtag I stand with Ray Fisher, or, you know, release the Snyder Cut, I was in it for the long haul. And I will be in it for the long haul. And that's why, look, guys, you guys got to remember, this is not just about, oh, well, you know, just give me more Snyder stuff, right? Because there is more Snyder stuff happening literally in a couple of weeks. Like I literally have to be on a call here in like 15 minutes talking about Justice Con, right? And that's going to be absolutely exciting. Okay. So don't just get discouraged because it's too easy to get caught up in, well, Warner Brothers says this isn't going to happen and this isn't going to happen and this isn't going to happen. What did Ray Fisher say? And I think that it's a great point for us. Stop talking about what isn't happening or what didn't happen, and let's talk about what is happening. Right? Let's talk about what positive things there are. Look at this community. Brian, you got me. I've got you.
No, that's what I say. We got each other, and that's what's great. And that's the positive I'm taking out of this. Like, don't get me wrong. Don't think like I'm giving up on y'all. Okay, I'm just giving up on the studio because I think the studio doesn't know how things. I mean, like, entertainment is a business which relies on people to come watch your entertainment.
But I could tell you already, Brian, and I keep saying it, and you got to remember, you got to be able to separate it out. If the Snyderverse does continue, it is not going to continue with Warner Brothers.
One would hope.
It's not going to continue with Warner Brothers. It will continue in another form on HBO Max. That is the only place that it can go where it will make sense, and I feel that everybody will be able to be at peace with. You know, as much as I want it to be in theaters, I would gladly sacrifice it being in theaters at this point just to see that vision completed.
Good evening.
What's up, Firewater?
I just wanted to pop in for a little bit. I was kind of chiming in and out of the stream and everything. I just wanted to say hello. Bonus.
Bonus.
But I agree with everything you say. It just seems like people are getting upset with the Superman's grandfather maybe being, because I believe the actor is half black.
Yeah.
It's like people are getting all up in arms. What I will say to those people is anyone who's kind of up in arms about that, because A, you may not be able to cast the best actor if you're restricted due to race. And B, all those people that cry that representation doesn't matter, I think they're full of crap.
Mm-hmm.
All those people that say representation doesn't matter. Okay, well, then we're going to change the race of this. Well, but it was white. We couldn't do that because you changed it from white to not white. But like, okay, so representation matters. Well, no. So the key with these people is I found like the key with like, and I'm going to dip out real quick. The key I found with the fandom menace and anyone who's just kind of like toxic in terms of fandom is I found it's best to put them under cognitive load. And the best, what I mean by that is this, is you kind of, you express yourself in a way where you make their points contradict themselves, right? And you create cognitive dissonance. And then that'll put them under cognitive load where they won't be able to think clearly. And when they're not able to think clearly, that's when their truth comes out because they take away the filter, right? An example would have been, Jeremy with that Fandom Menace stream. He was under heavy cognitive load. And we found out that because he thinks he gives some money to charity, it allows him to be an asshole on the internet. He paid for the rights to do that. And we found out his fans too wanted to take their donations back because they didn't get what they paid for that night. Again, you could find out who is full of crap and you could find out who is accurate versus who's on cognitive load or not. So that's why it's always good to that's why I like the Poindexter style. I'm proud to be a member. I think it's great. It's that you focus on the positive and combat the negative too. Yep. But the primary focus is on an actual product, Zack Snyder's vision, right? The primary focus is on Justice League 2 and 3. Snyder Cut was great. I watched it 3 times. Taking a little bit of a break from it, but I'll run it in the background here and there. I don't have a problem doing that if that helps out. But I think that it's nice to fight for an actual tangible product.
Yes,
and other than fighting for Kathleen Kennedy to be fired. Okay, well, how do you know the next person that comes in won't do a worse job?
Right,
yeah,
right.
There's no guarantees. I mean, Jon Favreau is great, but maybe he's not a good president. Maybe he's just a great writer director. And that's okay. Yeah. Not every professional athlete can become a good coach, and not every coach was a professional athlete. So to me, it's to fight. And I don't even want to fight. I'll say advocate. I think advocate's a better word for me to use.
Yeah.
To advocate for a tangible product. And unfortunately, one of the toughest things I've noticed on my 38 years on this planet is to kind of like reverse a course of action. Because, like, for example, WB saying, hey, we got it wrong with Justice League, we should call it. Joss Whedon's Justice League. We got it wrong. We thought it was going to be a good hit, but it wasn't. So they would have to, and I know they're scared for their jobs because if it's owned by AT&T, they have shareholders, and they could be like, well, okay, well, obviously they screwed that up with how much money. Let's get rid of them. But I think if they could just kind of, fold their hands and just say like, hey, you know what? Zack's was better. Let's figure out how we can get him to complete his vision. And, maybe the studio would be kind enough to let these people kind of keep their jobs. Even though with the Ray Fisher stuff going on, I understand that may be a tough pill to swallow. Resolve the Ray Fisher challenges. Because I know he's saying change of leadership, but I think if he seems like a reasonable individual, I think if people were able to come back and if they were able to sit down and have a meeting and work out their differences, I have a feeling that they could work something out. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's all I just wanted to say. I just wanted to pop on really quick. I think the stream was great. I was able to pop in and out. But yeah, I just wanted to give everyone a little bit of food for thought there. But when people are protecting failure, it's a very difficult thing to change. Not impossible, but very difficult. And especially when they have a bunch of probably yes people working for them saying, oh no, Justice League was great. The audience just didn't get it. They're too dumb or this, they'll blame the fans or whatever. So, but anyways, that's just what I wanted to pop in and say. I hope you guys have a great day.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Firewater. Always good to have you on, man.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Absolutely.
Good words.
Bonus for sure. We're going to get our bonus. I do want to, I want to address a couple of things and look, these are things we can talk about in the coming days for sure. But Mark, who is Benson's, I just want to address a couple of things before we go, because I do have to be on another call here. But first of all, it's always been this way. And so it's not going to change.
Honestly,
you can't look at it that way.
Like, I mean, even after like Me Too and stuff, has anything really changed in Hollywood, or is it the same BS that they've been putting out for 150 years?
Listen.
That's what I'm like. I don't trust Hollywood. That's my problem.
Well, I don't trust Hollywood either. What I'm saying is if nobody does anything, there are actually now people who are standing up in Hollywood and saying, this has got to change from the inside. I'm telling you, if we don't support it, look, if we just wash our hands and go, okay, I'm done. Guess what? You got a guaranteed outcome. Guaranteed. You're never going to enjoy anything.
Well, I mean, my thing,
you're never going to enjoy anything ever again.
By them, I'm there.
No, because you like DC properties?
I used to. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I'm feeling, because it's like
I get it, Brian, but you know what? Here's the thing. It won't stop there, though. It won't stop there. It won't stop there. It won't stop at DC. It'll keep going. And one day, it'll come for you. And the other things that you love. Unless somebody speaks up, even if it feels like you're crying into the wind, it's better than to roll over and just give in. At the end of the day. And here's the thing. You want a guaranteed outcome? Then Ray Fisher should just go, that's pointless. I'm done.
Well, I'm just saying, we should just step back and let them fail.
But see, here's the thing. Because it addresses actually Benson's next comment that I wanted to address real quick, because where is it? HBO Max doesn't have the money to fund a £2 million or $2 million movie. They don't have to. There are ways that they can save money by doing it as a series, by doing it in other ways. It doesn't have to be a $200 million movie or £200 million movie. But regardless, they've got money. Don't kid yourself into thinking that they don't have the money to do this. There are people who will spread that narrative that they can't do this. They absolutely can. There are other streaming services spending billions of dollars on content. I'll tell you how it's not going to happen. If everybody jumps ship and there's no money to be made, they will not make it. They will not make it. If they don't, if there's no money there, they will not make it. That's just the way it is. That's why sequels don't get made to movies that bomb sometimes, because if the money wasn't there to justify it, it's not going to happen. So this is what I have found. HBO Max is literally my favorite streaming service. It literally has pretty much everything on there that I love. I mean, besides Star Trek, you know what I mean? A couple of things that, are on a couple of different services. But I mean, honestly, I watch HBO Max. My family and I were talking about this the other night. We watch HBO Max than any other streaming service we have, and we've got them all. I mean, I watch Disney Plus just for the Marvel stuff and for the Mandalorian stuff, and obviously for the Star Wars stuff that's going to be coming out, because I love Star Wars. But as far as like overall content, as far as movies, HBO Max is much better set up. As far as TV shows that I love, man, they got Adult Swim. They got, like I can go watch Robot Chicken anytime I want. I can go watch, South Park anytime I want. I can go watch, any movie, all these TV shows. They got Turner Classic Movies, all the classic movies that I grew up with in the 80s and the 90s. Those are all there. And they've got Zack Snyder's Justice League. And when nobody else, when Warner Brothers wouldn't put up the money to make Zack Snyder's Justice League, who did? Two different companies. Two different companies. That's what we have to remember. AT&T can't just come in and just go, hey, make this. They've got to make their money back. You know what I'm saying? And how do they do that? Through subscriptions, through people sticking around. If we don't do that and support that, then yeah, we're not going to be able to see anything else, because it's just not going to be there. And so there is money there to be made. And we've proven that there's money to be made by the amount of people who've watched it. And it's there. But we have to support the things that we love. Remember that these are different companies. They have different structures. Warner Brothers is never, yes, I agree with you. Warner Brothers is never going to put up the money for this, Brian. Warner Brothers is never going to, I mean, unless they do a complete overhaul of everybody who's in there, but it's going to take a while to weed out some of those people. Okay. But here's the thing. If we keep holding their feet to the fire, their feet to the flame, you can't ignore somebody forever. They kept telling us that about Snyder's Cut, that it didn't even exist, that it was not real, that Zack did not have a version of the movie. And they sure weren't going to give him $70 to $100 million to finish it. But through perseverance and through standing together, we saw it happen. So that's just the way it is. You know, we're gonna win by doing the things we love. Here's the thing, man. So here's the thing with this, and I do got to go because I got 3 minutes to get on this other call, or I would stay and talk about this longer, because here's the thing. Do you know how much money other subscription services are spending on their content? It's an investment. They have to see the return on investment. There are ways that these streaming services are making money that we don't even realize based on this content. It's not like you can't look at it like the old days of you go to the movie and a movie makes, $1 billion at the box office and that funds it. They're making money in other ways. And
streaming is going to take over the movie industry. I'm sorry, but it is.
And so the thing is, you can't just look at it. It's not just subscriptions. It is many other things, licensing deals. It is advertising. It is a lot of different things that come about through it all. And other streaming services are doing it. Literally, Disney made almost 2/3 of what they made. I think it was 2 years ago overall as a company. They made in 1 year on Disney Plus, and that was when they only had Mandalorian. Imagine how much better
they had more than Mandalorian. They had all the MCU movies.
Yeah,
but Endgame.
But let's be honest. Let's be honest. The people who love that stuff already had that stuff. The only new content that they had was Mandalorian. That's the only new streaming content that they had. So we just gotta persevere. We just gotta keep on. But hey, we're gonna talk a lot more about this stuff because we ain't done. I done told you we ain't going nowhere. So it's gonna be okay. Just stick with me. And if you ever get down, you know what? Just know
that's why I come here.
just know I'll be right here for you every time to lift you right back up, baby.
Slap some sense back into me, and
exactly. And we'll do this together. All right, guys. Hey, thank you for joining us tonight. Remember, treat everybody with respect. Remember, don't tell anybody that their fandom doesn't matter. Don't let anybody tell you that your fandom doesn't matter, because it absolutely does. Stay strong. Keep your head up. And if you do that, there'll always be a place here in the Poindexter Lounge for you, because we ain't going nowhere. All right. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.